All right, friends, it's T-Man. I'm back with a new video. Again, Jason Blaha, Strength and Fitness, our favorite YouTuber, gym slave, lifting slave, Mr. Blaha. Let's see what Blaha says this morning. Blaha says, ego lifting doesn't lead to more gains. It leads to more injuries. Not really? You think so? You think so, Blaha? All right, let's review this video.
All right, let's talk a little bit about ego lifting. This is something that does bother me because we frequently see very...
It does bother him? Why does it bother him? What does he give a shit about what people are doing out there? Do you think Coach actually really gives a shit about anybody? Think about it. The amount of fake advice that he gives out there to lure you people, or basically fake advice, I'd say to, how should I say this, corroborate your fake beliefs.
young lifters, usually...
Or confirming, I should say, confirming people's fake beliefs. What he does is this, okay? Really, I'm seriously. What he does is confirm your fake beliefs so he could recruit more of you lifting slaves out there and gym slaves. Look, even in this video right now, he's recruiting, talking about, I'm so worried about you guys. Oh, you ego lifters, you may get injured, you poor babies, you.
their 20s who they make good gains and they get up on social media, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook.
Yes, you're so concerned, Blaha.
Whatever, and they'll make videos bragging about ego lifting and all of these things. And I can honestly tell you, in my observation over the years as a coach, someone with 25 plus years of experience in this area, I can honestly tell you that
I've seen a lot of people ego lifting and drugs, not drugs, ego lifting, lifting, not lifting. I've seen it all on YouTube, bro. Channels have come and gone. These lifters, they're lifting, they're not lifting, they're strong, they're not strong. I seen them start out, and then when they get to the peak, to a peak, and a good majority of people, when they finally get to where it is they want to go, I don't know, Mount Everest, whatever, they all of a sudden their personalities change, you know, that they think they're on top of the world. But anything could happen to you in this world. Anything could happen to you. Here today, gone tomorrow. I don't know, man. Like I said, I've seen many channels here and then they're gone. That's why I put that Red Chucks video up. But he's not the only one. There's that other guy from Mississippi or something that was lifting. He disappeared too. Do you remember that other guy? What was his name? Dr. Rackpulse has a video. He just pulled one up about him. Like, he made fun of him. That I literally got him to cancel his YouTube channel because of me. He left. He took off. He was on steroids. He became really skinny. I forget his name. Something Lifts or something. He was such a clown. Remember that dude? That old dude on steroids? I mean, after the steroids, he just became nothing, frail, a shell of himself, doing like push-ups on the floor on the carpet. Remember that? And he was trying to make fun of me. Making fun of me. I'm not on any steroids, bro. He was a fucking skinny toothpick. Do you remember that dude? I forgot his name. Go something. He's on Dr. Rackpul's channel. Fuck. I think it's... I gotta look for that stupid-ass video. I forget his name now. Something... Fuck, I can't remember his name. Fuck it, but whatever.
the guys who ego lift never, ever, ever make any better gains than guys who train more strictly. But what they do have is higher injury rates, higher injury risks. Perfect example, how many of the guys you see talking about ego lifting before long, they need sleeves on their elbows to press? Okay? Yes.
Sleeve, because they're wearing sleeves and things, because the lifts are damn heavy. They're super heavy. I don't know. Depends. They're doing a lot.
Notice this? They need sleeves on their knees to squat, all of these other problems.
It's to keep the, again, man, why are they wearing sleeves? To keep the joint in place. The joint can come out of place. I think when I was younger, one time, when I was young, I was doing like dumbbells, and the dumbbell on the right side, when I tried to put it down, I was still holding the dumbbell, and then I dropped it, and it caused the elbow to come out of out of alignment, and it was hurting for the longest time, man. I kind of hurt my elbow a bit. It hurt for the longest time, and yeah, you could put your joints out of alignment. It's to keep them in alignment. You have to be careful with that. Even your knee joint. That's why they wrap them up. Hello.
All right, this is an indicator that they've done some.
Have you ever seen like the kneecap? I've seen people with the kneecap. It's fucking come out of alignment and stuff. These joints, man, they can come out of alignment. That's not a good thing, you know.
Wrong. Okay, and we need to be clear here, because you guys are watching me right here, pretty much raw dogging all this stuff. At 47 in this video, all right. Notice you don't see me sleeved up. I don't really need to wrap up any of that stuff. Why do you think that is? Because I haven't destroyed my tendons and joints. Even doing 600 plus pound deadlifts, right? Notice what I'm doing on all these lifts you're watching. Everything is relatively strict. Now, everything I do isn't always super strict, and it doesn't have to be, and I'm not telling anyone that everything you do has to be super strict. It's simply not necessary. But we should maintain control of our weights. And even when we're doing challenging sets, you shouldn't be grinding with bad form to complete a set. Okay? If you miss a lift, then miss a lift clean. But we shouldn't be grinding and cheating and getting psyched up to complete a normal work set. You know, even that bench set you saw there, like that higher rep one, notice it slowed down a little. On the final rep, I had probably at best maybe 1 rep left in the tank, maybe not, because again, the bar speed slows down, but the form doesn't change. Okay? Same thing, some of the curls, you know, if I'm getting fatigued.
This is where you really see Blaha, man. Look at this. Look at his knees. Look at his skin. Look at his body's aging. This is accelerated aging, man. His knees are really droopy. His legs, sarcopenia. He's totally aged. He's like 80 years old. 47? Wow, he's like aged 20, 30 years or something. This is crazy. Oh my God, yeah, 20 years.
Let's pause the last rep or two to try to squeeze one more rep. But training strict. There is no downside to
my friends have pegged him for being an 80-year-old man. I'm not joking. They thought he was an 80-year-old man lifting weights. And thought, oh, that's a good one, 80-year-old guy trying to keep up with the weights. Yeah, 30 years. They've aged him more than 30 years. 32, 33 years. Oh my God.
Training strict, and that's what people need to understand with this stuff. All right? And I'm not saying...
Are those like 10-pound plates on each side? What are those plates he's moving there? 10-pound bumper plates? He's like throwing the weight up and down, man. This is hilarious. This is like a furniture mover working daily in his garage.
Body English and stuff doesn't have uses on certain lifts. It absolutely can for eccentric overloading, but using a little bit of body English with consistent technique.
The only difference between look, I told you what changes your body is food. Food changes the look of your body. It's not the exercises at all. You could be working a labor job, and if you want to look muscular and nice, all you have to do is carnivore diet, and guess what? You become muscular. Your body fat will lower over time working if you do specific things the way you're eating, and you'll look muscular. You understand? You'll have this muscular look, like a bodybuilder look, doing that job. I'm not joking, man. You don't need to lift any weights to look muscular. All you need to do is look like these other guys, anorexic. Yeah. So I don't know really what's going on here. Now, to put on mass on your muscles if you are working a labor job, well, then protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. So after your job, if you are working during the day, I don't know, evening or day, go down to the buffet and eat for a couple of hours. Yeah, like literally stuff yourself. And when you get home, keep eating. That's all. Just keep eating. And even on the job, eat your breakfast, your lunch, then go down to the buffet. Do that every day. You're working, you can afford it. And I guarantee you, your muscles are going to grow massively big doing that job, whatever. To an extent, they'll get quite big, definitely. So, yeah. So, do you need a gym? Absolutely not. This is just a business. It's a business. Man-made weights and this and lifting. Well, how do you build muscles? Protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. Okay. How do you look muscular? You diet. You lower the body fat. How do you do that? Carnivore diet.
Some lifts is not ego lifting, is it? because you're at least maintaining the same thing through the whole set. Whereas in people who are ego lifting, it's usually bad technique, bad form. They're grinding through things in a bad manner. They start trimming a lot.
Okay, if you want to get good at lifting heavy weights, what do you got to do? Lift heavy weights. See what I mean? How do you get good at lifting heavy weights? Lift heavy weights. How do you get good? How do you get good at building muscle? Protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. Got to be an anabolic growth state. Okay. How do you get muscular? How do you get muscular? Look muscular by lowering body fat. Simple carnivore diet. Yeah, man.
A range of motion, trying to get additional reps, and I get it. Sometimes,
actually, I should say high fat carnivore diet. That's how you do it. Animal fat.
Sometimes our range of motion is based upon our mobility, or it's based upon what we're trying to do with an exercise. But we see it in movements where it shouldn't be done.
I would say that remember Blaha's older videos? He was ego lifting, bro. Remember all those injuries he used to complain about in his videos? Look, I've been watching his videos for quite a long time, for quite a few years, even before I even started my channel. I knew who Blaha was. I've seen him come up. I thought he was just some crazy entertainer, lifting crazy guy. But he had so many injuries. He has so many injuries. That's why he's not lifting very heavy anymore, because he injured himself lifting heavy, because he was ego lifting. He was doing it on his channel. Hell, I don't even see him doing dips anymore. Any of you guys see him doing dips? Remember how he used to do those side dips? He would put that thing on the side of his rack and do the dips and this and that. He was constantly lifting heavy and dips. Why has he moved into bodybuilding? Seriously, why has he moved into bodybuilding? Oh, yeah, I gotta get a naked body, gotta look better. He realized, he discovered he's got to look better, and he's got to condition himself because he's falling apart. Look, it's all nice and good in the end, lifting a heavy weight, powerlifting. It looks cool and everything, I got deadlift, OHP, a bench press, and maybe some squats, something. But he's not even doing enough on the squats and certain lifts. He's not even doing enough reps. So what is he doing now? He's ramping up the repetitions. Why? Because he's trying to get the progenitor cell to proliferate more through his body, so that the progenitor cell can kind of renew these cells. But it's kind of late. He's exhausting them. It's not regenerative. That's the problem. It's not regenerative. It's really based on diet and regeneration. To regenerate, it can only be done periodically. Truly, the regeneration is periodically. I'm not saying you shouldn't condition yourself by losing body fat. That's what I mean by conditioning. Conditioning, losing body fat, But he thinks the more you lift chronically, the more it'll anti-age you. The truth is, the more you lift, the more it'll age you. It's the less you lift, the more you can reverse this aging through regeneration. And it's dependent on your diet, looking muscular and lean. It's carnivore diet. Yeah, man, I'm not joking.
We see it also, even on machines, you'll see guys doing it. And you have to look at that and go, if you weren't blasting a ton of gear, you wouldn't be getting progress doing that. Literally.
Again, he's always with, if you weren't blasting gear, you wouldn't progressing. He thinks everybody's on gear because he's on gear himself, because he's incompetent. You understand me? He doesn't believe in himself. He hates himself. A lot of these lifters online, they hate themselves, like Alpha Destiny, this, whatever. I don't know about Mike O'Hearn. He does it for money purposes, okay? It's his job. He's got to support himself. I don't know. But like Blaha, Alpha Destiny, all these other weird guys, Bugenhagen, they all hate themselves. That's why they do that. They can't stand themselves. So they lift these crazy weights and do crazy stuff and take substances. They take these substances because they hate themselves. They want to destroy themselves. Have you seen Alpha Destiny's crazy lifting videos in the past? Trying to destroy himself because he's crazy. Path of self-destruction, I call it. When people take steroids and exceed the amount of integrity that your natural integrity can take, your body as integrity, and you lift exorbitantly heavier than your body can lift, guess what? You destroy yourself. The reason why when you run down a hill, your body it's a stopping motion. When you go down certain things, it's a stopping motion. Even on the eccentric exercise, it's a stopping motion. Your body's trying to stop you. That's an instinctual thing. But guess what? When you take steroids, You just let it go, and then you get injured. You understand me? Because you're lifting crazy heavy. It's molecule strength. It's molecule strength. It isn't based on muscular strength. So what do people do? They see these steroid guys lifting heavy. So then these crazy natural people, they try to mimic the steroid guys. They're like, I want to lift heavy like the crazy steroid guy. Drugs, yeah, yeah. They go nuts, man. They don't realize they haven't put on any muscular strength to keep up with the chemical strength. So they try to push it to the limit, and then eventually they get injured one day and they're like, fuck. Then they come online, they either cancel their channel, they disappear, something happened, or they just come online and say, I injured myself right away. There's so many videos like that, bro, you have no idea. They've destroyed themselves, their back, or crippled themselves, or some shit. Because the integrity, your body's integrity, cannot take that weight.
Getting an inferior stimulus, but I digress. You know, the whole thing with glorifying ego lifting, it's not beneficial. It's not helping you. You are not going to get bigger any faster because you ego lift.
Well, it's not going to make you, it's not going to build muscle on your body from ego lifting. It's chemical strength. You're just lifting it because it's show and tell. You want to have something to show. But your natural strength has never gone up. Look, you could have chemical strength moving faster than your natural strength. What is your natural strength? Your body. Your body is your natural strength. Get it? If your body is not increasing in muscular weight, I'm talking about in muscle weight, then you have not gotten naturally stronger. But if you keep getting adaptations to moving a heavy weight, well, then you have chemical strength. And I've read this. Myocytic androgen receptor controls that strength. But it doesn't control the mass on the limb muscles. What controls the mass? See what I mean? What controls the strength? Myocytic androgen receptor. What's a myocytic androgen receptor? These myocytic androgen receptors, what are they? That's where the molecules bind to them. The more you get of them, the more force production you create. Now, did you create anything physical? Physical. Did you create anything physical? No, you didn't. You just got better at lifting heavy weight. I told you, it's just like the woman that lifted the heavy car off her kid, the 6,000-pound car. She got an influx of adrenaline, a very powerful hormone called adrenaline, which binds with the androgen receptor, giving her that force production to lift that car off that kid. Now I'm going to ask you, is that woman strong? Is she stronger than you because she lifted a 6,000-pound car off her kid in an emergency? She got an influx of these hormones. Ask yourself that question. Is that woman stronger than you? No. Physically, she's not stronger than you. She had an influx of chemicals to lift that car. She's not strong, I'm telling you. She's strong in the moment, chemical strength, definitely, I would say. That chemical strength can make you crazy. That's why people inject chemicals in their body to lift a heavy weight, because they're very powerful. They bind to the receptor, giving you more force production. But she's small. It's like she's small. You see a small guy lifting a heavy weight. Is he strong? No. When you see him in the street, a bigger guy sees a small guy. He doesn't see him as being strong. They don't. Do you see an ant as being strong because he can lift 10 times his body weight? No, you just come around, you step on him. See what I mean? Bigger people are always stronger than little people. They don't care.
What happen is, in a perfect world, you might get the same gains. But that's what's crazy, these people will promote it and pretend.
Free Wi-Fi?
These people will promote it and pretend that, ego lifting is the key to my gains. Like, no, you're training hard and you're using lots of stuff. That's the key to your gains.
Now, the carbohydrates were the key to their gains. You know how many people online, the key to their gains is carbohydrates? That's the key to their gains. And they don't realize that age is moving faster. Here's the thing. You're aging, but you're deteriorating faster than you're aging. A good majority of people out there are deteriorating. I don't know what they did in their past, future, whatever, how hard they worked. I had very hard jobs coming up when I was a teenager all the way into my 20s. I worked extremely hard jobs. I worked for custom home builders. I always lifted heavy weight. I worked as a laborer. I worked this, that. I worked heavy fucking jobs, bro. Like really heavy jobs, man. I could say that a good majority of these jobs had built me up for sure, but they really destroyed me at the same time. My left knee's messed up. My left side is bigger than my right side, and my lower body, my upper body, my right side is bigger than my left side. So my left side is bigger on my legs than my right leg, and my right side of my body is bigger than my left side of my body, my upper body. So yeah, I remember after I decided to start lifting with my left side, but it was more difficult at this point. I think it was too late. I tried, but it was kind of too late at that point. I didn't realize that at the time what was going on. There can be an imbalance there. So I have problems sometimes now as I'm an older person. My right knee is a bit is kind of out of it, bro. It's not the same. My right shoulder, there's constantly some kind of pain. If I move it the wrong direction, I have to be careful. So, yeah, as you get older, these things come back to haunt you. You wearing out your body. You're wearing out your body. You're deteriorating faster than you're aging.
It's not the ego lifting, okay? And sure, there are plenty of pro bodybuilders who do it. How many of them are injured? How many guys are just as big who train stricter? Okay, and again, I'm not saying a little bit of loose form doesn't have a place, but when everything is always just ego lifting, you're not in this for the long game. You're not in it for the long term, right? And look, it can be fun to do a little bit of ego lifting from time to time. It can be fun to do cheat reps and cheat exercises, but if we're going to do cheat exercises, it needs to be controlled cheating, and it needs to be in a way that you know what you're doing and it's consistent. And novice lifters have no place doing that. And it's the same thing when people are doing AMRAPs. It's something I deal with as a coach. You know, when you assign guys benching or squatting AMRAPs or whatever, you want them to leave one rep in reserve, they grind through bad form. There's no place for that. Like, you just watched me do a
Man, he's one to talk. Blaha's one to talk. He was an ego lifter. And then, I don't know, he stopped doing these weird things because I told you, he got so many injuries because look at him. He's deteriorating faster than he's aging.
A rep to 0 rep in reserve for benching there. Right? What happens? Did I have to grind and use bad form? No, the bar slowed down on the last rep. That's when we know we're at that stimulus. You're right there to where that is a high quality set. You've reached those upper thresholds.
Look at the poor man. He's deteriorating right in front of your eyes. It's kind of obvious. There's so much lifting. He's so worn out at this point. I don't even think he could do any more of these like ego lifts that he did in the past. He can't do them because he's too worn out.
Muscle fibers, you've reached those deep muscle fibers. You're in a good spot. Now that was actually the first set of 3. You know, we did the same thing on the remaining sets, of course. You know, but rather than grind through, sometimes it's better to stop, take a brief pause, take a deep breath to get that next rep. Okay, and sometimes we have to do that. But you shouldn't be grinding through bad form to try to squeeze reps that you can't get. To where you're shifting to the side, you're bouncing it. All right, that shouldn't be necessary. Sometimes if you're like, I really want that next rep, okay, maybe you need to rest, pause it. But you shouldn't
Yes, that should be necessary. Yes, okay.
be letting your form degrade to get it. Again, I want to be clear. All this does is it leads to inflammation, leads to faster overuse injuries.
Wow, he had actually admitted it. He admitted inflammation leads to inflammation. Everything leads to inflammation, all lifting. What's he talking about, man? And then what else does it lead to, Blaha?
Just gets you hurt. And before people say, well, what about
Yeah, it gets you hurt and a bunch of other things there.
maxing and powerlifting? Well, no, because you have to maintain good form. You have to maintain control of the bar. I see plenty of guys who put lifts up on social media, and they get mad when you say, but that wouldn't pass in a competition. And look at how could you invalidate my lift because you were grinding through a shitty form? That doesn't, in a powerlifting meeting, you could say that's ego lifting because it's a 1 rep max, everything you have, but it has rules. You have to maintain control of the weight. If you're ego lifting through stuff, they're going to red light you. They're not going to pass your lift. So it doesn't even help you there, does it? All right? There's no benefit even for that. So ego lifting doesn't make you bigger. It won't pass even in a competition if you're just trying to get strong. So what is...
Wow, he looks really small here on his bench. Those arms are tiny. He has absolutely no lats. Flat chest.
To do? It feeds your ego. And there's going to come a point with most of you out there to where it's eventually going to break you. Okay? It may take a long time. And the thing is, you'll see some people get away with it longer than others. I find in general the average lifter is way more fragile than even I am. I'm shocked at this as a coach. You know, guys break easier than you would think they would.
Whoa, he's shocked as a coach. They break more easily. Oh, he's so shocked for them. Yes, okay.
But they do. But some people are very resilient to it. They get away with it longer, and then people see it and observe it and think they're going to imitate them. And
Okay, Blaha.
it ends up going badly. And I see it all the time.
Blaha sees it all the time, bro.
Younger, inexperienced lifters getting hurt because they can't check their ego. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys
I'll talk to you guys later.
next time.
Next time, Blaha. Tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Helps with the algorithm. I'll see you friends later. Ego lifting does lead to more gains. It leads to more injuries. Well, yeah, it's kind of obvious. How could lifting lead to gains? Unless you could absorb any nutrients from the metal, there's no gains. See you in the next one. Ciao.